First of all, um, thank you for coming, Mr. Ed. You're from Ari Acupuncture. You want to tell us a little bit about who's Ari Acupuncture?
Yeah, I appreciate you for inviting me. So my full name's Edmund Lao. My wife and I, we operate Ari Acupuncture here in Round Rock, Texas. That's about 15, 20 minutes north of Austin. My wife is the practitioner. I'm the clinic director, and we are blessed to be able to help people in the health and wellness space out here in Round Rock, primarily offering acupuncture services.
Sweet. That's what it takes to make a small pitch, precise to the point.
Yeah.
Need to practice.
And one thing I obviously want to share is we have Josue of Naga Wellness, who utilizes a room in our space as well to also help treat. And so a lot of patients that we have who can benefit from massage therapy currently, we have you seeing them. So please share.
Yeah, well, and thank you very much for opening the door, because that's been really helpful, especially at the beginning and coming new to Pflugerville, knowing no one. And well, then finding you, it's been quite a blessing.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. And thank you again for being here, being part of the start podcast startup.
The inaugural podcast.
The inaugural podcast, and see how it goes. Well, that's the point. Just have a chat as we usually do in the office when we come along or come across together and just chat about wellness stuff, which I think it's important to share with people, because I think most of the times we can share with each other and we kind of talk the same language, or we're aligned to the same idea of helping other people recover their health. And I think it's important also to spread the word out so people get a little better feel of what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Let's start. What's the topic for today?
All right. So today's topic is regarding how to think about health and wellness in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, particularly with one's life. And this actually is something that I can resonate with, because my background originally was in the finance industry. Right?
Okay.
And so I know one of the topics you've wanted to explore is how to think about health from the standpoint of people planning for it in the long term. And so one of the big things right now is 401ks, right?
Yeah.
It's ingrained that people should be saving over their lifetime to prepare for it. And are people thinking about health in the same way?
Yeah. And that's, I think, something could be easily relatable. I'm not sure how much, because to me, coming from a different background, savings was not in my vocabulary, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's not easy for me to think of like, yeah, I earn $100 and then I spend 99 and save a one. So I will usually live a little bit on the day-to-day basis. And I think with health, sometimes happens something similar, where we don't think that investing in probably that 10 minutes a day, or out of the 24 hours, if you invest the 1%, it will be around what? 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Then that can be the foundation to build something important, right? It's just like
absolutely.
Take 50 cents out of your $100, and probably by the end of the years, you'll have, I don't know, $5.
Yeah.
But then if that continues to happen, probably in a few years from now, you'll have something a little more substantial.
It'll build.
Yeah. Whereas just going out, earning 100 and probably spending on some.
So it's, the concept is about setting aside a little bit every single day, right?
Right.
And, you mentioned coming from a background where that wasn't, for instance, ingrained. It was something I'm sure at some point was picked up. I think, to be honest, the vast majority of Americans actually, even with 401ks and finances, it's also something that isn't that well known, and I think only probably in the last like few decades more so that there have been rules. Employers, for instance, a lot of times now, either require or even set auto enrollments in place. So I think to a large extent, a lot of people just don't naturally know about it. Either there's a nudge or there's some type of organization, some type of something out there that's kind of helping people, take in that knowledge and make it more day to day, more ingrained in their lifestyle.
Yeah, because I also think part of the probably challenge with that is that someone else is taking care of it for you.
Right.
So it's not like you're consciously doing every single day. I'm putting out 50 cents, which I remember when I was a kid, that was my parents' idea, but I think didn't stick. But I will tell you, it came to me a little bit afterwards, and I realized it after I started training to become a Tai Chi instructor. It took me about a couple years of practicing every single day, because I had to, right? I wanted to become the Tai Chi instructor, so I need to go every single day for practice and for learning, practice and learning. So I will go in the mornings, I will go in the afternoons. And after a little while, I thought to myself, 2 years into it, every now and then we will get together office meetings, right? So from one side, I was learning to be a Tai Chi instructor, and from the other side, I was still a programmer. So a couple of years later, we usually have, by December, these gatherings about, the office is gathering. And I could see the difference between my attitude, my stance, my general overall well-being in comparison to the rest of my coworkers or my peers. Like, oh, well, that's cool. Because after 2 years, I have probably just a little bit more knowledge and physical condition than the rest of my friends. That was something that came to my mind. And I think that happens something similar with money when you start, and you can tell me a little bit more about it, but when you start putting a little bit apart, and then probably after 2 years, you say, oh, now I can go on vacations without having to take credit for it, or I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people, even with finances, they think like, oh, what does a dollar do? Right. Yeah. Like, and a lot of them also might get stressed because it's like, well, I'm already 30 or I'm 40. I still feel like I haven't saved enough. But if they have still been consistently saving, there is that compounding effect. You have interest on interest, you have growth on growth. It will eventually get there, as long as they keep to it. And so I think having that mentality and also having a reflection over time, right? Again, day to day, you might not really notice that big of a change if you're just training, right? Because you see your own body every single day, right? Whereas like, let's say you don't see your parents for 5 years, but you've been training every day for 5 years, right? Yeah. And they come and see you. It's like, wait, who is this? Yeah. Right.
But, and curiously enough, it happens the other way around. We see today and we don't see each other for 5 years, and you do nothing except training to be a couch potato. And then next time I see you, like, what happened to you?
Right. So there is a compounding on the other side. Yes.
Except not many people say that out of respect, I am assuming, right? But you know.
Right. So going with the idea of, basically saving, building for the long term, right? Health-wise, right? Because I assume we don't have to talk about just saving in general for the 401k for retirement. I think most people kind of understand the general concept of that.
Yeah.
But in the health side, let's think about, I might be jumping a little bit here, but because you've been treating patients, I'm assuming in the vast spectrum of young to old, especially since we're talking about more of the elderly population. What have you seen in terms of like the spectrum of, okay, I can see this person, they've built those dividends over time, they've generally stayed healthy. How do those people look like to you, especially when you're working on them, the types of bodies that they have, the overall health versus the opposite side? What typical types of things you see in terms of, that they haven't been investing in themselves?
It's tricky question for two reasons. We have to consider something else that is called, we usually do in TCM, or from the traditional Chinese medicine perspective, we talk about Jing, something that you inherit from your parents, and we call it like as your savings account. So say it's the same thing as if you were born into a family that liked to save, and they pass on to you a little trust fund, right? So you might have $2 million, or you can have just $500, or you can have nothing.
Right.
Well, that hardly is the case. But in this case, when you were born, the constitution of your parents was transferred to you. And some people are really lucky and they have this structure. And it's the kind of person that will tell you, what's the secret for longevity? Oh, hamburgers and whiskey. Like, no, that's not the case. And also I think that's a little bit unfair and kind of misleading. Because if you have $2 million in the bank and I tell you what's the secret for being a millionaire, you'll say right. Oh, I do what I want, right?
Right.
So yeah. If I also had $2 million in the bank and I'm giving some credit for it, or I'm giving dividends for it, yeah, probably I will do what I want, and whatever I earn is on top of that $2 million.
Right.
So I will be very careful on people who tell you that secret for longevity is, I don't know, do what you want and eat burgers and have a smoke. Because probably it's the same kind of people that when they're 90, they're still mobile, they're still healthy, they look super young, and you'll see their face is bright and, they're able to speak. Whereas some other people, like I consider myself in the mid-range. I wasn't born with a super huge amount of yin or primordial essence. So in my case, when I was small, I would get sick, and sometimes not. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. So I learned to take care of myself.
Right.
And I think that's also similar to what we're talking right now, in the sense of since you don't have probably enough money to do whatever you want, you learn to save a little bit, and then you do what you want. Save a little bit, do what you want.
Right.
Same thing happens with the health part. If you're a kid who's very healthy, you don't learn quickly how to take care of yourself. Oh, you go out and you take out your T-shirt and you're all around sweaty and not changing and going out in the cold winter without a sweater because you feel really good. Mm-hmm. Then if those habits don't correct, when you're old, that's where we're starting to see the things. Oh, many people say, after 40, you need to take care of yourself because now you no longer stand weather changes, or now your ankle is starting to hurt before it rains. It didn't happen when you turn 40. It has been happening for the past 20 years. Just you haven't noticed.
Right.
So when I see people, turning back to your question, what I see when people have been taking care of themselves, you can see basically three things. They can move by themselves. So these people that are active, that usually don't need any kind of assistance to walk, to do their daily activities. And these people that usually don't that have a routine that includes some sort of movement or exercise. The second part is there's usually the kind of people that will save some amount of money or time to get preventive care. It's the people that don't wait till, now my head hurts and now I realize I have high blood pressure. No, they take care of themselves, take care of their diet, and go regularly to get a massage, just get an acupuncture session, go to the club, swim 20 minutes.
I can tell you it's pretty rare that we have somebody super healthy coming in that says, hey, I need acupuncture. I feel great already. I just want to keep maintaining my great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with massage. And curiously enough, I was talking the other day with one of my teachers, and she was saying, well, in acupuncture, we have different levels of intervention, so to speak. So acupuncture, herbs, exercises for health. In acupuncture, it mixes acupuncture and moxibustion. Dietary changes or diet, generally speaking, and preventive care, like habits. Mm-hmm. The thing is that we have them upside down. But the real escalation of the situation will be, first, if you start feeling sick, you look into your daily habits. If your daily habits fail to address the situation, then you go to the next level, which will be make your medicine your food and your food your medicine, right? Which is part intertwined with your daily habits. Sure. But let's say it's like one level up. You now need to be a little bit more conscious of what you're eating, why you're eating, when you're eating, blah, blah, blah. All your habits for digestion and food or nutrition. Yeah. If that doesn't help, then you need some sort of physical therapy, and you get to massage therapy or Tuina in this case. Mm-hmm. So if you get your therapy and you get rid of shoulder tension or whatever was happening, good. Then you de-escalate again to your food and your daily habits. If massage or Tuina didn't help, then you go to acupuncture. Now, and don't get me wrong, acupuncture can be also the other way around. It can be preventive care. And parentheses, we usually use this kind of disciplines to correct things, not to propel them, which we can talk later about that. So you go to acupuncture, moxibustion to take care of the issue. If it doesn't work, then you go to herbs. Herbs being the closest to medication, but still natural remedy, right? And of course, we're not talking about anything major, like you got a bone fracture or exposed fracture or something genetic or a predisposition or something out of the charts that you need actual emergency intervention. We're talking a daily life thing. Mm-hmm. So if you noticed lately that one day you wake up and you had a headache and then it went away, and 1 week was okay, and then the next week you have a headache, went away, and 3 days later a headache came back, something is not okay. Right. And that's when you start escalating the protocols. And first thing, see what's going on in your daily life. And I think that would be the third thing. If you ask someone from medium complexion that has now this amazing rock star essence to spill around, that will be part of their daily life. Like, I eat on the same time every single day. I drink enough water. I keep hydrated. I go to bed at the same time. I do X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of person that's very easy to treat because with very little, they respond very fast. And in the other way, we can use acupuncture to increase now. It's not about correcting, it's about increasing, propelling. Right. If you're going to the Olympics, we can make a little tweak to increase your stamina, for example. So it's not always about correcting. It's also about propelling, which I think happens exactly the same thing with money. Like you don't get to a point where you owe $1 gazillion in your credit card. Now, what do you need to do? Start cutting off all the nice, good things you were doing, right? Probably no longer eating out, no longer going on vacation. So you now start cutting, reassessing your daily habits that have taken you to spend more money than the one you're earning. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to go back to a point you made. That was a lot of information. Yeah. a lot for listeners to digest. You made a very interesting point, and it's something
I didn't even think about it. In the context of this, we always just assume everyone starts at zero, and then they build, let's say, their 401k, right?
Yeah.
So to your point, you can have people inheriting, in the same case with wellness, genetics obviously make a big difference. So everyone starts at a different place, right?
For sure.
So you can't really say like, oh, well, you're starting here, I'm here, we should be ending at the same place. I think that's a very interesting thought and concept. And what you were leading into in terms of daily habits, I think that's a great segue to the next topic, which is really the crux, I think, of this conversation. It's what are those little dividends, like those little, wrong term there. The small commitments each day, the savings part.
The thing that we can relate to a savings
so,
aspect.
Right. So with the 401k, right, your ideal goal is to set something aside every single paycheck, right? To go towards that long-term goal. In the same case here, we were talking about changing daily habits. I assume for most people, it's going to be starting small.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
To make it long-lasting. Let's talk about suggestions, any protocol, any type of framework that you suggest to the viewers and listeners here, and how to start.
Yeah, if it was me, the one who was starting, there's a lot to change, and it depends very much where you're at right now. But I think one of the most important ones to me are two, which could be a negotiable if.
Okay.
But first of all is the eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
Eating habits is like if you don't have good gasoline, it doesn't matter what car you have.
All right.
So it won't run fast. It won't run long.
Right.
Same thing with money. I'm assuming if you're taking pennies of $1 instead of $1, hardly is going to make a difference, or at least not as fast as you want. Habits daily habits in the eating side include what the most simple ones is how many times you chew your food. So
even if a person's habit is just eating hamburgers all day.
Yeah. Because the thing is that, and all teachers can say this, is digestion starts in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? So the smaller the pieces and the more churned and demolished pieces, or how you want to call them,
right,
they are before they enter your stomach, the less energy you are going to waste, or not waste, the less energy you're going to use to digest the full thing.
Yeah.
If you take on big chunks, then the mastication will happen in your stomach.
Right.
What happened? You're going to spend more energy. And if we talk about it from the TCM perspective, that energy comes from somewhere, which is you, and it's from your savings. So if you need to spend more money in order to make little money, that's spending.
So good.
Yeah, right?
Going back into the finance. Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But if you make more money than what you are spending, then you're growing.
Yeah.
Right? So in food, that would be like my super first step.
Yeah.
The moment you start counting how many times you chew, you start making it conscious. And if you can get to the 50 chews per bite,
right,
you will slow down. You will churn the food really good. You will mix it with saliva, which will facilitate the enzymes, and you will make them appropriate to go down your esophagus and all the way down to your belly and be digested easily.
Yeah. And it gets more absorbed, the nutrients part get absorbed more easily.
And you will feel full faster. Well, not faster. You will give time for your stomach to say, hey, time's up. The boat is 80% full, so please, no more food. So you'll start feeling like satisfied a little faster.
Yeah.
So probably that huge burger you used to eat, now you're chewing between 30 and 50 times. By half the burger, you'll feel like, maybe I won't eat all of it, you know?
Yeah.
And that will tilt the daily habit into that dollar every single day.
And, if you're technically not eating as much, hey, that's also financially,
right?
Less food costs. One thing I actually thought about, the analogy is the expense ratio for, investments, right? What you're doing is you're reducing the expense ratio. You're reducing how much it costs, like you said, your body to...
it's less taxing.
To break it down, and hence you get more out of it, right?
Yeah.
So
even if it's burgers, as you said,
right.
Because then you're able to digest it a little faster, easier.
Yeah.
And then we can go, I can tell you a bunch of the other thing is don't drink when you eat. You'll dilute your enzymes. Not the enzymes, your acid. So if you dilute the acid, it's harder for it to decompose the food. Then we add an additional plug. Don't drink ice or don't drink cold beverages. So we all know we have a temperature, right? The body inside temperature around 98 degrees Fahrenheit, more or less, and etc. with all what it means, but an average. Internal temperature is around 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So you take a drink that is 32. What do you think it will happen? Now you're going to need your body to spend some of those resources to get your temperature back up. And additional, your stomach, it's a muscle, smooth muscle. And it's amazing. It has an amazing anatomy. And the way it works, the physiology of the stomach is top notch. So what happens when a muscle gets warm? Gets more blood flow. There's vasodilation. So you have all these adequate temperature, including some enzymes in the stomach are super picky. They only work at certain temperature. So everything is working in harmony while you're chewing your food 50 times. And then you drink a sip of iced water. What's going to happen? You're going to change the temperature of the system in contrast. You're like, what's going to happen? When it's hot and you put cold, it contracts, right? And when it contracts, everything is expelled either upwards or downwards. Downwards is a little harder, so it's going to go upwards. Maybe you don't feel it.
Right.
You're going to feel the cold going down, and it's going to feel very good. But then the stomach going to contract and push the liquids up. And a few months later, you say, I have a little heartburn or acid reflux. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I might have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're eating and drinking, especially drinking cold, you're creating that shock in your stomach and squeezing it up.
Yeah.
Pulling it up all the time until it erodes the canal, and now you have heartburn sensation or acid reflux. You cannot hold the food because now probably that little door is damaged, so it allows the chlorhydric acid going up and down. So you're basically burning yourself. Right. So that's another thing. Why spend money in correcting something that doesn't need correction? It's easy just stop doing it. And if you feel that you need to drink, then we'll get into the fourth thing, because keep hydrated. And if you're eating foods that are making you feel thirsty, something is not 100% okay with it, because you shouldn't feel like you need to drink when you eat. Then that means the food is too dry. Yeah. If it's too dry, just you need to add some liquid. But liquid is not water itself. Yeah. The food needs some moisture. Yeah.
So, oh, you're making me sad. So that means I can't go eat fast food, like really salty food anymore. If I go to a buffet, they're probably going to kick me out because now I'm going to break the timeline, or the time limit. It's like you're chewing too long. No, but those are great tips, and I think those tips actually, we talked about baby steps. Those are things. Obviously, everyone has to eat every single day. Everyone needs to drink.
Yeah.
So those tips I think are very easy, little lobs that everyone can attack and
it's funny because for some people they are not easy, especially the chewing part.
Yeah.
If we are used, and this is a habit, if we are used to watching TV while we're eating,
oh yeah,
if we are used to be distracted, then chewing your food is going to make you sit down and might make it boring actually at the beginning.
Right.
Like, oh, now I need to chew and I need to count. By the third bite, you're going to say, forget it. I'm just going to eat as I usually do, because it's a huge change.
Yeah.
But honestly, that would be one of the most impactful in your daily life. And it's important because we don't think about it, but we digest everything, not only food. So emotions are digested, situations are digested, good and bad times are digested. Whatever you hear, whatever you see, whatever you smell, whatever you listen is digested as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only the food that gets through that mechanical aspect, it's also an energetic aspect, seeing it from the TCM perspective lens, right? So the stomach is in charge of processing, and then your spleen is in charge of separating the turbid from the clear. So if we are eating bad, or we're having bad eating habits, most likely is we're not digesting our emotions either, or our daily situations either, because something is stuck in there. And then what happens, we start gaining weight. And sometimes many people I've seen in practice in the clinic, like, what do I do to lose weight? First things, stop drinking cold water. Change it for warm water, like a tea, or room temperature water, which is closer to your body temperature. And with that, like 20 or 30% of the bloating goes away. Chew correctly. And I cannot promise anything, but I can assure, at least for a big majority of people, that will make a significant change in, now I don't have any gastrointestinal issues. Now I go to the toilet more often. Now I feel a little bit more satisfied. Now I feel a little cleaner. When we eat, we're not supposed to feel heavy. So we're supposed to eat, feel light, go take a nap, everything good. But if you eat something too fast, too heavy, too oily, too much, you're going to feel like, I cannot do nothing no more.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, those are great tips. Let's talk about probably the topic that most people don't want to hear. Well, I don't want to say don't, but movement, exercise, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, and you are a Tai Chi instructor as well too. And people are busy, right? You have parents out there who have to take care of kids. People are always stressed about work. So if we're talking about what are some easy things that they can do, whether it's 5-10 minutes out of the day, like what would be the most, if you were to think about almost like a cheat sheet, like the most impactful things, or like the easiest things, as you mentioned, even for those daily habits that you could suggest?
The first one I will suggest is that don't suppress the want. The body is super wise, so it will urge you to move. It might be early in the morning, it might be almost late at night, it might be in the middle of the day. Don't suppress the urge, because your body is telling you already, like, hey, I need a little movement, I need a little something. Where can we start? 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and even just with the intention. Some people do it like, just put your tennis shoes, stand in the frame of the door, go back, take your shoes off, and the next day do the same thing, but give a step outside, come back, take your tennis shoes off. I think the big mistake is trying to do a lot in one little sitting. Like if you're already changing your eating habits and now you're including exercises and you go sign up for the gym, start hardcore 5 days a week with personal trainer and everything, that won't last. And also we need to be aware that we're fighting our own chemistry. So we build habits, and habits are comfortable for the body. It's a known chemistry. So the moment we try to change, the body will say like, hey, this is not what we agreed to. What's going on? So it will start making you doubt. But if you start little by little, it's easier. Like sipping that small 50 cent into the little savings account, just 50 cents. Just 50 cents. It doesn't feel like half your paycheck. Or it doesn't feel like, oh man, now I wanted to buy this thing, but now I need to save $200 in a month. Put 50 cents. Put 50 cents is the same thing. And I will put the intention. Then probably the next week, give a 3-minute walk around your house, maybe, or around the block. Then 10 minutes. Then 15 minutes. Ideally, for adults or healthy adults should be 30 minutes 3 times a week. It's not that much, honestly, if you divide it in it. But I get it. If you need to cook and chew your food and spend more time doing your daily habits, and we haven't talked about even going to sleep, for example, then it might pile up. So just find those 10 minutes. And I can tell for sure. For sure. After 3 months of doing it for 10 minutes, the day you don't do it, your body will say like, hey, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Where are we going now?
Yeah.
Are we ready to start? And it will be less of a problem restarting or finding that 10-minute window.
Right.
And programs are a bunch. I mean, you can do from simple walking to YouTube videos, doing Tai Chi, chair exercises, resistance bands, anything that actually just move you a little bit. Then the rest will start going on by itself.
Right.
I'm assuming it's a little bit more like seeing your bank account with 50 cents versus $100,000. You'll be like, oh, yeah, now I can put a little bit more maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. So, okay, this is going to be a tougher question. I feel like most people want a cheat in life. So think about from a wealth perspective, right? The lottery ticket is the perfect example. I'll plan for retirement not by saving. I'll just buy a lotto because it
Scratch offs.
Yeah, or scratch off. It's easier, right?
Yeah.
And there's always that chance. Probably, I guess, in the same capacity on the wellness side, we'll use the example of drugs like GLP-1s, peptides, right? Those are the fads now. I think a lot of people are thinking, there's these new drugs out there. They're doing miracles for people. Why do I have to exert so much energy walking 10 minutes a day when I can now, well, it's still expensive, but hopefully, down the road, it becomes cheaper. And so people are like, well, I can just take them instead. And that will make me skinnier or more healthy. What would be your response to those?
That's a delicate one because I have a different formation, or I would say even a belief system, which even though it's not against it, I wouldn't favor it very much. Speaking it from what your body is capable of, having a cheat sheet might damage the super delicate balance inside your body that is capable of regenerating, doing everything it needs to be done by itself. Body is super wise. So the moment you give him something that he doesn't need to produce anymore, he will forget about it, because we need efficiency.
Yeah.
That's why we were saying you can become the perfect example both ways. So if you want to become a couch potato, your body will perform its best to make you the best couch potato. It will reduce the amount of muscle. It will reduce the amount of energy it consumes. It will down-regulate to use the less energy to become the most efficient couch potato ever. That's why when you try to go back to an active lifestyle, it's not easy because it has been already optimized. It takes about 3 years to your body to modify. So if you're starting and you want results, you might have to invest approximately 3 years to restructure the bones according to Wolff's law. You need to stress out your bones. You need to give a small stressor so your body responds and start building on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's very appealing having this. You need 3 years. You just need a couple injections every now and then.
Right.
And this fantastic peptide is going to do it yourself.
Right.
So some peptides are endogenous. So we produce them. But if we start giving them to the body, at the beginning it might sound like a great idea. I don't know if that might disrupt the actual mechanism that we use, and then we become dependent of that external stimuli.
Yeah.
I think they're amazing to solve certain problems.
Right.
Like if you are battling right now and you need a boost, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
If the technology exists, sure. It's like I call them like the alchemist, the modern alchemist, like 2.0. Before they were trying to make mercury into gold. Now we're trying to hack the body.
Right.
And truth is that path don't need to. I would suggest you walk it yourself so you become master of your own body because it's tied up together. Body, mind, and spirit, they all go together. So if you're unable to control your body, most likely you're unable to control your mind. And if you're unable to control your mind, most likely you're unable to control your spirit. So that's the idea of the Kung Fu. And that's why I'm saying I might be biased by my belief system, because I have this belief or faith in that, and I've seen it working on myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming from the 0 to probably I'm around 40%.
Yeah.
Because 100 will be ideal. On how body changes, body response, and even though time passes, you stop getting sick, you get strong, you're mobile. If you get injured, you recover fast. And that is not only the physical level, your body learns. That's why I tell all my students, body learn, your mind learns, your speech learns, all of you learn. But that's because you are training yourself from the inside out, not the outside in. Right. Outside in, it's delicate. It's useful. And I'm assuming for so many people might made the miracle. But after that, take care of yourself.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like, I got the lottery, but I have no financial skills. I don't know how to save. I don't know how to invest. So 5 years later, I need to win the lottery again because I have no money.
Yeah.
So how you walk that path?
Yeah. No, those are great points. As you were bringing up those points, I'm actually reminded of a few things as well too. Like some of the things I think about are like unintended consequences, right? Well, and so going back to your point of it might help with certain things. So let's say you take a GLP-1 to help with weight loss as an example, but you're not strengthening your muscles, right? You may be really skinny, but as you get older, all of a sudden you fall and you break your leg. Yeah, and had you been going the more natural route of trying to lose it by exercising, you would also be gaining muscle and strengthening,
and making your body
resilient.
And when you exercise, then your muscle fibers, I forgot the word right now, but basically your muscle fibers grow, so they consume more energy. So you stay fit longer. But if you rely on the outside method and just use a liposuction or use a peptide and lose weight, then out of the sudden, 5 years from now, you're struggling again with weight gain.
Right.
Why? Because the habit didn't change.
Yeah.
You're still eating bad, eating a lot, not chewing your food, eating at whatever time you want, drinking cold water. So I think the appealing part of that is that I don't need to change in order to get the benefit. Whereas if I tell you, now you need to chew your food 50 times, like, oh man, this is going to be boring. Now I need to pay attention to what I'm eating, why I'm eating, where I'm eating, with whom I'm eating.
Right.
I need to turn off the TV. I need to pay attention to this ritual that allows me to continue to live, because if I stop eating, I die.
Yeah.
And it's, at the beginning, might be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But probably after 3 months, a year, maybe 3 years, that subtle transformation will give sense, a completely different sense of the ritual you're performing, and maybe you even want to cook now. And now you start cooking your own meals. And now you find joy in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And now you find the kitchen a meditation space.
Yeah.
There's something interesting I also tell a lot of my students. When you practice Tai Chi, you don't come practice for an hour and then leave. Mm-hmm. When you come learn a little bit, and then you practice every single day. It becomes your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you can see when people actually get the joy out of the practice, then you can see how they walk, how they manage problems, how they cook, how they go to sleep. So everything starts becoming this aligned ritual. My teacher will say, all the horses are aligned in the same direction. So if your eating habits change, but you go to sleep at 3 a.m. in the morning, or sleep 2 hours because whatever reason, that one horse is going to the left, one horse is going to the right, what's going to happen? Either you won't advance, or the cart will break. Mm-hmm. So you will get sick again, and then it will come, I'm eating and chewing 50 times, and why this is not working? Well, because they're not separate. Yeah. Same thing with the exercise. So it's all together. And that's something I also talk with a few of my peers in the massage therapy world. When they say massage therapy has this great how do you call it? This burnout. This burnout percentage so high that after 5 years, people just drop the profession because they cannot uphold it, right? And it's not about how many techniques you know, or how many super good teachers you had in the past. If you don't take care of yourself, that's going to happen not only in massage. It's going to happen anywhere. But it's more visible in massage because we think that just because you give massage and then you get a massage once in a while, that's it. But what about what you're eating, when you're resting, how you're sleeping? Are you doing exercise, or you're confusing exercise with massage? Then all of these layers, or all of these horses don't align, then we have a problem. Because some horses go to the left, some horses go to the right, the cart will break every single time. Or go nowhere. That's the best case scenario, go nowhere.
No, you're absolutely right. And, even in our clinic, in our acupuncture clinic, right, I think about how many nurses we see, we see therapists as well too. And why? It's because, they, like you said, they're burning out, they're using their body a lot to do their job, but it takes a lot, right? That energy in the body. Yeah.
And then you get these funny ironies of life where it's, oh, let's celebrate massage therapy day, and they bring pizza to the office. Like, why? And I'm not against it. I'm just I don't think that would be a very to me a show of appreciation. Like, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah. I'm gonna just point out two things that have helped me and talk about the small habits and starting small, and then that eventually kind of like, building into your daily life. These are two examples of things that I've started practicing in the last few years, and it almost has become subconscious now sometimes. Breathing, like, and doing breath work. It's something I learned since helping out in our clinic. And now I subconsciously find myself doing, belly breathing and really taking in much deeper breaths. And previously I had sleep apnea as well. And so I found that even just like my sleep, stress, when I feel a little stressed during the day, I'll just naturally like go into
the breathing technique.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one example. Another one is, listeners may or may not know this, but we here at our clinic in Round Rock, our team also, we do Tai Chi exercises with Josue.
All right. Yeah.
And one of the hardest things was holding the position, your legs and knees. And in the beginning, it was really, really painful. And now, just because I want to practice, but I also know it's better for my posture, if I'm just standing, waiting in line for something, I will start bending my knees and,
adapting the posture.
Yeah. Making sure, there's no weight on my butt. And it becomes more of this natural kind of position, right? And
yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
It's throughout
that's cool to hear.
Yeah.
And the breath work, for sure. That would be another suggestion.
Yeah.
Breathing is not is given for granted. But
Absolutely.
At some point, when we grow up, we forget how to breathe, and then it just becomes a habit.
Right.
So relearning how to breathe makes a huge of a difference. Speaking of what we eat, well, air is one of the most important nutrients, so to speak.
Yeah.
So breathing makes a whole new difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I attribute it to those, like, starting small, right? And just doing it. And, we did those exercises starting probably was like 30 minutes, right? But, I now, if I'm waiting in line or I'm at a concert or something and I'm on my feet for the entire day, again, it builds upon itself.
And and to me, for example, it gives me a certain amount of joy, saying like, oh, now I can hold lower posture. Oh, and I can do these exercises that I couldn't.
Right.
Now I can bend my knees, make a squat deeper. Now I can hold more weight. And what we don't see because we're still young, is that we're building that little trust fund for the future. We're building our 401k. One of the main causes of injuries in adults is falling down. So strong legs, strong foundation, it's harder for you to fall down. And if you were to fall, your bones and your muscular structure might be able to hold it better.
Right.
Well, that's also, I teach Tai Chi for a group of adults in a 55 plus community. So that will be my first, my first objective is to make them legs strong, iron legs. They don't like it very much. They don't like me very much at the beginning.
I know how they feel, yes.
Yeah. But after a little while, I can see how they change. And then now we're moving. And now we can do the exercise. And now this doesn't feel so daunting. Then it regains a little trust on themselves. I can bend myself. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Yeah. I mean, we've been working for 6 months. Probably in 2 years, you'll ask them and they're like, oh, yeah, this is easy stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas 2 years ago was not even the radar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think same thing, just trying to put it back into the money part. When you see your 50 cents might not be as, I don't know, motivating to
Right.
see a small bank account. But when you start seeing like $13,000, oh, $50,000, oh, $100,000, then you don't want to spend no more.
Right.
You keep saving.
Yeah.
I think same thing happens. And also, it would be a good question or rhetorical question. If you want freedom when you're older,
Mm-hmm.
what does freedom really mean? Because
Yeah.
to me, freedom will imply 3 things. I don't need anyone to help me do anything. Meaning I can go shopping, I can go to the restroom, and that make an impact in me, because one of my grandparents was in bed for his few last years, and
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
kind of sad to see. He needed help to go up, everything was hurting, even help to take a shower, go to the restroom.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to be better than that version of
Yeah.
my elders. And the second one is I want to be able to eat everything whenever I want, however I want, and don't have to depend on 15 pills for high blood pressure and sugar and X, Y, and Z. No,
Right.
because I think it's preventable. I know there are certain genetic factors embedded with it, but I've seen a lot of people getting into regular practice, like, and I would say Tai Chi because that's what I have more close experience with, get recovered.
Right.
And I don't want to wait till I'm 70 and, oh, maybe I should start practicing Tai Chi now. I want to practice right now. So when I'm 70, I'm like my teachers, they were like 86 years old. The oldest one was like 90, and they could do postures better than me. They're
Right,
like,
right.
oh man, this is a little embarrassing.
They started saving a long time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely great point. Yeah.
How about you? If people wanted to start saving, what would you do as the first tip? Where would you start?
Oh. You know, it's funny because I think that answer has now changed from our discussion.
Okay.
I after hearing you, I do think for long-lasting habitual changes, right, that are ingrained in your body, I do agree you have to start slow. You have to start with something you're comfortable with, because I think to force somebody to do something that they're not uncomfortable with, going back to your example of somebody who didn't really save, but then all of a sudden you mandate them to only spend half their paycheck and the other half gets taken away. It's kind of like, whoa, I'm not ready for that, right? And I think that's why a lot of people don't save, right? Mm-hmm. It's that they want a certain lifestyle, they're used to a certain lifestyle, and they're afraid of change, right? So if you start small and you just put a little bit, and then you slowly, when you're comfortable, you slowly increase that. I think that really helps a lot. So the answer now in my mind, is more vague, but it's start with something slow, start with something that is easy. It's easy mentally to get around or to accept. So I think actually the chewing one is probably the easiest, because like you said, everyone needs to chew, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that you have to start at 30 chews per bite, right? Because I'm guilty of that. When I'm really hungry, I will just take one big bite and maybe 2 chews. right?
Yeah.
Eat small. But
Or if you're in a hurry,
yeah,
that's something I must say.
Yeah.
You only have 20 minutes to eat. So chug it in.
yeah. You're in a hurry, or you're just really hungry, and so the urge just to like swallow and feel that satiation in your stomach. But even going to like 10 bites instead of 2, right? It's a starting place, and I think that's easy. That's easy for most people to, they don't have to get out of the door and walk 10 miles, right? It's
because then you'll feel sore and you'll feel sorry and you won't want to do it anymore.
And people won't do it anymore. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so we should say it will be an interesting challenge. Either you chew 50 times a bite or you put $1 in the savings account.
Oh.
But if you chew 50 times, then you can only put 50 cents.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's a little reward.
So by the end of the year, you'll have enough money to solve some gastrointestinal issues, or you'll have money to save. You'll have money to have fun.
Absolutely. That is, I think that was a good conversation about.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you very much. We should have some round of applause for Ed. Thank you very much.
I don't know if this will make it in or not, but I do think you talked about Tai Chi programming, your background, massage, now going to acupuncture school, TCM. I feel like you need an entire episode because
to talk about life stories.
Whoever hears this and doesn't know you will be like, wait,
why are you talking about?
What is this person's background? Yeah. So I think we should dedicate an episode to just your story and how it got you to where we're at today, where we're sitting across from each other.
Sounds good. So we're gonna cross our stories, see where we're at.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Ed. It was always a pleasure. And hopefully we can continue doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was fun.
Thank you. Let me put out.